Some moments change everything when a stranger refuses to ignore cruelty. Welcome to Kindness Stories Hub. Today, we shared the story of a girl who discovered that one simple act of courage can silence an entire room. Laughter filled the wedding hall, but not the warm, joyful kind. This laughter was sharp, pointed, and directed at Marisa. She sat in her rose-colored dress, twisting her napkin as if it could shield her from the whispers. She wasn't crying loudly. She never did. Her pain lived quietly behind controlled breaths and blinking too fast. At a nearby table, guests whispered openly, nudging each other while glancing her way. One woman pointed directly at her, shaking her head with disbelief. Marisa's family danced and laughed, unaware that she was shrinking further into her chair. Across the hall, a man watched her carefully. He noticed the trembling shoulders, the bowed head, the silent plea to disappear. Someone was finally paying attention. Something was about to change. Some wounds don't leave marks, yet they follow you everywhere. Marisa had spent her entire life being labeled before she even spoke. People called her the big cousin, the heavy one, the girl who shouldn't wear fitted clothes. Tonight felt no different. The bridesmaids at the next table weren't subtle. Their sage dresses shimmered, but their whispers cut like glass. Every time Marisa glanced up, she caught them staring and smirking before pretending to sip their champagne. Earlier, a groomsman had tapped her chair and joked, "Good thing this one's extra strong," before walking off with a laugh. Everyone else enjoyed the music and lights, completely unaware of her trembling hands and burning cheeks. Everyone except the man standing near the back wall, watching her with a look that came from experience, not pity. He knew what it meant to collapse silently inside your own skin. He wasn't just noticing her. He was preparing to move. People who have carried deep loss often sense pain in others instantly. Cole Hartman was one of them. He wasn't dressed like the rest, no polished suit, no bright tie, just rolled-up sleeves and a worn shirt that spoke of hard work. Years ago, Cole lost his wife, leaving him to raise his young son alone. Grief sharpened his ability to see what others ignored. He recognized when someone was barely holding it together. And tonight, that person was Marisa. Her shoulders tensed again as her table erupted in laughter. She tried to shrink, to disappear, but the hurt was too strong to hide. Cole's expression tightened. He set down his drink and walked toward her with purpose, not haste. He wasn't seeking attention. He was seeking justice. The wedding hall didn't know it yet, but their evening was about to shift, and so was Marisa's. Sometimes, it takes only one person stepping forward to silence an entire crowd. Cole reached Marisa's table just as another insult landed. A bridesmaid leaned in and said, "Maybe they should have given you a bigger table." Sweet laughter exploded. Marisa folded into herself. Cole placed a steady hand on the back of her sernat, touching her, just standing guard. His presence alone changed the air. The laughter stopped mid-breath. Eyes widened, posture stiffened. Cole spoke evenly, not raising his voice. "Is something funny here?" The bridesmaids exchanged uneasy glances. The groomsmen shifted awkwardly, suddenly less confident. Marisa looked up in shock. She had never seen anyone, let alone a stranger, stand beside her like that. And this was only the beginning. The quietest words can deliver the strongest impact. Cole looked directly at the bridesmaid who made the comment. "That wasn't humor," he said. "It was cruelty." She scoffed lightly. "Relax. It was a joke." Cole replied, "Jokes aren't meant to break people." Silence spread across the table. Then he turned to Marisa, and everything in him softened. "May I sit with you?" She blinked, stunned. People didn't choose to sit with her. They tolerated her, avoided her, or mocked her. "Yes," she whispered. He took the seat beside her, forming a protective barrier between her and the ones who had ridiculed her. "You look beautiful tonight, Esaid." The table went quiet, not because they cared, but because shame finally reached them. Something inside Marisa shifted. Something long overdue. Healing often begins the moment someone makes you feel seen. Marisa's cheeks warmed at Cole's compliment. "This dress doesn't really suit me," she murmured. He shook his head. "It suits you because you chose it." "That's enough." She didn't know how to respond. No one had ever spoken to her like that, without judgment hidden beneath her tone. Cole asked her gentle questions about her interests, how she knew the bride, what she loved doing outside of work. Slowly, her shoulders loosened, her breath steadied. When the hall felt overwhelming again, Cole nodded toward the patio. "Would you like some fresh air?" After a tiny pause, she nodded. They stepped into the cool night, fairy lights glowing around them like a quiet refuge. For the first time all night, Marissa felt a sense of calm, and the truth she'd kept buried began to rise. Sometimes the safest place is beside someone who understands your silence. Marissa leaned against the patio railing, letting the cool air wash over her. "Thank you," she said softly. "Most people just watch." Cole replied, "Watching someone drown isn't the same as helping them." A small, shaky laugh escaped her. "I've always been the easy target." He shook his head. "No, you've been the easy excuse. There's a difference." They talked about her art, his son, how both had learned to hide their hurt to keep others comfortable. For the first time, Marissa felt truly heard. Then the door opened. The bride stepped outside. Concern etched across her face. "Marissa?" "Someone told me what happened." The night wasn't done changing yet. Real love refuses to stay silent when someone it cares for is hurting. Layla rushed to her cousin, her dress swaying behind her. "What happened? Tell me everything." Marissa shook her head. "I don't want to ruin your wedding," Cole gently said. "She didn't ruin anything." Layla's tone sharpened. "Who said something?" Marissa hesitated. "It's fine." "Really?" "No," Layla replied firmly. "If someone hurt you tonight, I want to know." Through the window, the bridesmaid sat stiffly, sensing the storm heading their way. Layla lifted her chin. "I'll handle it." She walked back inside with determined steps. Cole turned to Marissa. "Are you okay?" Her voice trembled. "For the first time tonight, yes." But the night still had one more shift waiting. When kindness finally speaks, cruelty loses its power. Inside, the atmosphere had changed completely. The bridesmaids sat quietly, no longer laughing. Some guests avoided eye contact altogether. During the final toast, Layla spoke into the microphone. "Tonight is about love," she said, "and love does not mock or shame anyone. If someone forgot that, consider this your reminder." A hush washed over the room. Later, relatives approached Marissa with soft apologies and kind words. It didn't erase the pain, but it began to soothe it. Us.